everybody, hope you're doing well and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be doing a review of this book. It is called Queers, 8 Monologues, curated by Mark Gatiss. This is in the running for one of my favourite books of the year, and in some sense it's not a book because I first watched / listened to the monologues, but it is sort of like mini plays, like they're little monologues basically, so it's not a standardized novel or a book or short stories in a sense, but with that being said, it is still absolutely incredible and exceptional, and I totally love this. So I listened / watched the monologues that were first presented on the BBC in 2017, just recently, and then I instantly fell in love with it, and I was like, I really want a book so I can read along and like re-listen. So I did. I got a book, and I did just that, and I finished it for a second time like 2 days ago, I think. So yeah, so I read this twice in like 10 days, which is a record for me, but totally worthy because I just really loved it and I enjoyed them just as much the second time round, and I probably will keep on enjoying it how many times I do read / listen / watch this, because it's just amazing. So what is it? Like I said, the series was aired in 2017 and this was compiled and published in 2017 as well, and it marked the 50th anniversary of the decriminalisation of the Sexual Offences Act in 1967. And throughout the book there are 8 short stories, in a sense, well, monologues, and they try to, and perfectly do so, explore the gay life and place in society through a change in Britain throughout the 20th century, and we start with a young soldier who has just come back from World War One, and he is in a pub, and all the stories take place in this pub that has stood the test of time in London, and he reminisces on a forbidden love affair during the war, and also about a time when he saw Oscar Wilde on the platform being taken to Reading Gaol. And we finish with a man getting ready and prepared for his gay wedding in 2016. And throughout the different milestones in queer history in the UK, about like the AIDS epidemic and like the Wolfenden Report, discourse on the age of consent, and just sort of like reminiscing on different times. So yeah, whilst it does heavily feature the gay male experience, because only men were ever criminalised in the UK for homosexual offences, women never were, there are 2 stories which do place women at the forefront. The first is this one, if you can see. It's called The Perfect Gentleman, and it is about a woman who puts on the persona and dress of a man so she can, you know, feel more comfortable, I guess, in herself, and also so she can pick up women, because obviously as a lesbian it was a bit more difficult. So that's one story, and also this one called Missing Alice by John Bradfield, and Perfect Gentleman was by Jackie Colleen, by the way. It's from the perspective of a woman who married a man who she later finds out is gay, and he loves her, he will miss her, but he doesn't love her in that way, and it's quite a hard hitting story, and you just, yeah, I don't know, it definitely, I mean, they all affected me, but yeah, that one was quite a good one. So let me just quickly go through the other ones whilst I'm on here. So the first one is The Man on the Platform by Mark Gatiss. This one, the third one, The Safest Spot in Town by Keith Jarrett. This focuses on a man that has come from the Caribbean, and how he has faced homophobia and racism in British society, and it is drawn World War II and his experiences in Britain, basically. And yeah, that one, it was really good, that one. And then this one is I Missed a War by Matthew Baldwin. I really enjoyed this one. This is about an old queen, a Polari speaking tailor, and how he just reminisces on yesteryear, and this is set in 1967 when the Sexual Offences Act was got rid of. Misses the undergroundness of the queer scene in a sense. Really good. Then we've got this one, is More Anger by Brian Phillis. This is about an actor drawn in the 80s, and because he is gay, it is only natural that he only plays gay roles. And what were the gay roles in the 80s? Oh yeah, dying of AIDS. It talks about sort of like the politics around it, and this one spans a bit more longer than the others, and how later on in the 80s, when the AIDS crisis was an actual massive crisis, how they weren't really much interested in it anymore, because there was a sicker death, even though there was death literally everywhere and nobody was doing anything. So yeah, that one, the way it ended was just like, I've got goose pimples now because I'm freezing cold in just a t-shirt, but it literally gave me like really sky high goose pimples. I was like, oh my god, love. Then penultimately, we've got A Grande Out by Michael Dennis. This is about a young northern boy from a small city, coming down to London, and about the discourse on the age of consent and his time in London, basically, and how it's different from Nottingham. And yeah, I really enjoyed that one. And then finally, The Gay Wedding, is Something Borrowed by Gareth McLean. What's this new setup? I just balancing around some books, so please don't fall. But there was a little snippet that I really wanted to read in the review that I forgot about until after filming, so that's why I just put my jumper on now. But anyway, who cares? This is from the final story, and I just was like, when I listened to this and when I read this again, I was like, this collection is just so good. And yeah, I thought I'd just quickly read that little bit that I loved. So yeah, of course this story isn't like the fairy tales I was raised on. No horse-drawn pumpkins, way too many homosexuals. No, people like me didn't feature in the stories I was told growing up. It felt as if I didn't exist. Even if there were characters like me, they were Hall of Mirrors distortions that made me feel like if I didn't want to exist. It's painful to be invisible in other people's stories, but there is a sliver of a liberation. You can tell your own story. You can author your own life. There is no script to stick to, which is effing terrifying. And quite exciting. And effing terrifying. So yeah, that's just a tiny little bit, just to give you some example, I guess. I don't know. But this book is filled with great like snippets and quotes and things. But they all add to a whole, which is better in my opinion. But anyway, that was that. Back to the video. Bye. So yes, that was all the stories. So they all are very varied, and I loved like all the characters in here. They are all super lovable and super like diverse and complex, and it's so well just channels the every person, the every man in British society throughout the 20th century, but they are of the queer persuasion. All the stories last about 10ish pages and about 20 minutes each show, and it's bittersweet in a way, because it's the perfect amount, and you get to know them like so well, but you leave pining for more. And I just wanted more and more. Literally, I could have read like 20, 50 stories. I could have read each one in like 50 pages, not 10. I just absolutely adored these characters and like the stories. But I guess the smallness and the snippets makes it what it is, and it definitely adds to the impact in a way. So for what it is perfect, and it perfectly does what it planned out to do. I just only kind of wanted more, but that's just afterthoughts. So yeah, I really love this. There's some stories I like more than others, but all of them received at least a 4.5 stars. And I thought I'd just quickly go through the individual ratings. So the Man on Platform I gave 4.75 stars. The Perfect Gentleman I gave 4.5 stars. Safest Boy in Town I gave 4.75 stars. Missing Alice I gave 4.75 stars. I Missed the War I gave 5 stars. More Anger I gave 5 stars. A Grand Day Out I gave 4.5 stars, and Something Borrowed I gave 5 stars. So the average is 4.78, but I just love the story so much as a whole, so I gave it a 5-star rating, and I literally would give it more if I could. This is one of my favorite books of the year so far. I don't know how it's going to compare to the others that are up there, but I just absolutely adored it, and I implore you to read / watch / listen to this. So yes, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I shall see you very soon. Have a nice morning, evening, night, wherever you are in the world. Bye.